Internet! Ah! Alright, boys and girls. 2016, Internet, what are you doing? What is going on? Internet, what are you doing? What are you wearing? What's happening? Future pants. Everybody's wearing their future pants, and I'm working on my sumps. I have a bunch of maintenance going on, and, you know, I figure it's the beginning of the new year, so I should probably shoot the most boring video ever, and I guess kick off the new year with a super boring long video of me talking about nonsense. Here I am adding some PVC parts. It's actually ABS, not PVC. I don't know why I'm calling it PVC. ABS parts on the left-hand side of my sump that goes to the new 180, which I can't really tell you what I'm doing here, but in the future, you'll know. Currently, right now, I am adding some parts, but I can't really tell you what I'm doing. And I also want to test it out before I tell people what I'm doing and see if it's a total disaster ahead of time, before I go ahead and give advice on what to do. Coming up here, I am going to show you the filter material that I use in my sumps. I use 3 different kinds. The first one is this Pinky's fine filter material. Then I use this blue and white kind, which is pretty much my all-purpose and the kind of the best one that I have. And then this blue one is a Pond Guru pond filter material. The dark blue one is kind of heavy duty. It feels like real thick straw. The pink one is kind of fine particulate kind of stuff, but the blue one is kind of all around. Will do both. It's double-sided. The blue side does the fine particulates, and the white side does the coarse particulates. In my shrimp tank, all I use is the 2 blue ones. And to explain why, we'll get to that in the later part of the video. I buy it in big rolls like this and use a tape measure to measure, you know, what a tape measure is for. I measure and mark where I need it, and then I cut it to size. It's much cheaper to buy these large rolls in bulk than it is to buy pre-cut anything. You know, it kind of blows my mind when I use those pre-cut filter pads and realize how much they cost. It's just astronomical. The light blue one here, which I think I'm gonna have to, let me check here. Let me pause this and check what who sells that. Through the power of the internet, I'm back. The blue and white one is from Filter Guru. I find that on Amazon is the easiest place to order it and get it shipped. Currently, right now, 12 feet of it by 12 inches. It's $26.95. It's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal altogether. When with how long it lasts me, how versatile it is, I can cut it up and do all sorts of weird things with it. It goes a long ways. And that dark blue one is, I think it's Filter Guru also. I thought it was Pond Guru. No, I think Pond Guru is a guy who I talk to on YouTube a lot. Okay, Filter Guru is where I get that from on Amazon. A lot of people ask me where I get a lot of my stuff. More often than not, I just hunt around on Amazon for a good price and get it shipped to me. You know, I like to support the local stores as much as the next guy. But if it's half the price and I don't have to go anywhere, you know, I live in Seattle now, so if I'm going somewhere, it's going to be like a 2-hour trip. So if you're going to charge me twice as much and I'm going to lose 2 hours of my day, makes it real difficult for me to support people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying out there, people? So here I am. I use the coarse filter material from the second chamber. This is the, and by the way, this is the sump on the 240. I used the coarse material on that first chamber. I didn't have any coarse the last time I replaced it, and you can see that I used the blue and white, which is actually a Puro Clean, Purokleen product. It actually works real well right there. But I find that the coarse one works out actually a lot better. Captures a lot of that coarse stuff coming down from the overflow on the left there that you can see. Someone's knocking at the door and the dog's barking. Be right back. Okay, handled that. I handled that real effectively by opening the front door. Victoria is home from work, which is always a good. It's always a good thing. Okay, so we're on about the coarse material here. In the second chamber that comes from the overflow through the bubble trap into the second chamber where I keep most of my my biomedia and all my excess plants and a majority of the shrimp that end up taking a ride over the overflow. Over time, a lot of shrimp take a ride in the overflow, but not as many as you would think. It's not completely out of control with how many end up down here. And as a matter of fact, I've been over it in past videos about how I actually kind of do think it's a good thing that they end up down there. It helps me kind of keep two different little colonies going. The big colony up top and the douchebags that live down in the bottom. So that coarse material goes right there from the second chamber to the third chamber where I keep most of the equipment. Whereas the heater, the CO2 reactor is over there. The water changing pump is over there. And I did find a ball of pearlweed there, which is perfect for the 180. I'm going to be planting that probably tomorrow. Now, in between the third chamber and the fourth chamber, there is an overflow that goes over a lip and goes down into the final chamber where the pump hooks up to. You can see here, I've got a few things in the final chamber which I normally don't. That's because what I do there is that I fold over a piece of the filter material and basically stuff it in between those two panels there on the in the sump. So the water flows over that into there, and then here's the trick that this really helps me out. I know when that filter pad gets full and it starts to get clogged up, it'll get stuffed. It'll start going down into the fourth chamber. So you can see below there, the dirty one got stuffed down and it's headed down into the fourth chamber. I haven't pulled it out yet, so try to get a shot and show you where it normally sits and then the one down below. Now, one of the issues with my water changing system here is that as I plumbed this in, I ended up like an idiot. I ended up installing the hose bib upside down and too long. I left myself a bunch of length there because I wasn't really 100% on exactly where plumbing and things were going to go, so I left myself some extra material, and when I put the hose bib on, it ended up being upside down. So that's been an ongoing issue. It's not that much of an issue, it's just an inconvenience. So what I did here, those are the worst snips I have, by the way. The only ones I can find are my super crappy ones. This here is a Sharkbite fitting. Anybody that's doing plumbing in your home, especially with water lines and things of this nature that are going to cause serious flooding problems, go ahead and get yourself Sharkbite fittings here. And I will tell you something, they are extremely expensive as compared to gluing. That one fitting right there costs as much as giant bottles of glue. Just that one fitting. That one fitting I think is like $8. And of course, here's the reason why they're so expensive. They are removable. You can take them out. They have an O-ring seal inside of them, and they have this crazy design. Now, I'm not here to like explain everything about Sharkbite fittings, but here's the deal. You can take them on and off and move them around and keep them kind of forever. Obviously, they will break down over time, and they won't be as good, and you'll have to replace them at some point. But this is one of the really cool things about the Sharkbites. They are pressed to fit, and you can take them apart. I don't know that I really shot the part where I take it apart. Oh, here we go. Oh, here I am. Now, I don't recommend people that don't know what they're doing to do it this way. I can never keep track of the little remover tool. So this is how I do it. That inside collet, you need to push it in and then pull the pipe out. And then you can take out the part if it's too long. You see that piece? That's the insert piece inside there. Now, when you're putting these together, make sure that they're pressed all the way together or they will pop off. There's basically like 2 points of pressure where it feels like it's all the way on, and you press a lot harder, and it pops all the way in. Just make sure you do that with those. I have a tendency to use Sharkbites sometimes. I don't use them very often because they are, like I said, super expensive. And like I said, this one fitting costs more than a whole bottle of glue or a whole bottle, or not a whole bottle, or a whole bag of half-inch connectors, especially this is CPVC is this pipe, which you need on pressure pipes. Water that's going to have water pipes that are going to have water pressure behind them. It's a good idea to use CPVC if you're going to do that, or use the flex water line, which I will be detailing later because I'll be redoing all this plumbing with some flexible line because I need a fill line put in going to the sump on the 180 and the other new tank. So I'll be doing a video on that stuff and getting more in depth into the BS plumbing. But here you can see, here's the old filter that got pushed down into the fourth chamber. You can see how logged up it is with crap, and then all the leaves and all that crap that I of course kicked up. But like I said, it gives me a good idea, a good visual idea when that filter pad is when it's time to be changed. This is such a big tank and whatnot. I can take the pads out and spray them out because the idea is you want to save the biological media that is in those filter pads. But typically in this tank, I'll replace both of them at the same time and not be worried about it. I won't get any kind of cycle. Just basically because of how big the system is and how low the fish load is. Although, if I did have a bunch of fish in here, like large fish, I mean, it's a 240-gallon tank, I could have some bunch of Oscars or whatever swimming around in this tank. If I had a bunch of big fish, I would recommend only replacing one at a time. These happen to be both pretty well worn out and clogged up at the same time, so I just went ahead and swapped them both out. This is only a shrimp tank, and there's plenty of biological material all over the tank to go ahead and have that work out. But so as we kind of got done with that, I wanted to talk about some of the things that are coming up in 2016. I'm going to be shooting more art projects. So those of you subscribers out there that don't like videos of other nature and only want videos that are fish related, hey, I'm sorry, but then again, there's only like 3,500 of you. I don't know how many people I could be pissing off at this point. Getting onto that, I'm gonna be making some more some more art videos and some more of the aquaponics videos as those get set up. I know that aquaponics are pretty well related to fish tanks because they are essentially a type of fish tank. We're going to be doing that. Some people out there have been asking me about saltwater tanks. At some point, I'm going to be doing some saltwater tanks. I'm also going to be doing some DIY construction videos and home repair videos. Those things are going to be coming up. And I'm going to be throwing them all up on one channel because I don't give a fuck. Some people kind of upset about that, and they're like, "Oh, you should make some more channels and whatnot." I don't care. This is my channel, and I'm not making more channels. It just seems like a huge pain in the ass for me to be having more things to maintain. Speaking of more things to maintain, Darkstar Arts and Darkstar Aquatics on Facebook. You can look those both up. You can find out what I'm doing as far as those go. Darkstar Aquatics is pretty idle. There's not a ton of stuff going on there because I post most everything onto YouTube now. There's no longer an independent fish site, but Darkstar Arts, if you Google that, darkstararts.com, or just type it in, like an adult, like the adult that you are, that is my new website that I'll be updating. Well, fuck, I ain't making any promises on how often I'm going to be updating that, but I do post the current art pieces that I have going on. I have a journal on there in regards to the first year of my sobriety that I am posting the daily posts and the edited version / behind the scenes or whatever in regards to that. So, I don't know. I'm pretty excited about 2016. It looks to me like YouTube has managed to tighten up their analytics as far as the advertising dollars go. So I'm going to be trying to figure out how to generate a little bit of money off doing whatever. So we're going to figure out how to do that. But speaking of that, next Tuesday, January 12th, if you are in the Seattle area between 6 and 9 p.m., come to Company Bar in White Center, and I will be there in person. All right. I'll be talking at you later. The later thing went away. Oh, all right. Later?